can contribute or anticipate and playing in the game, the better.
The Gators are 2 days out from the big game against the Bulldogs here in Jacksonville. Kickoff at 3:30. Listen to the game live on 1010XL. It's 81 degrees at 12 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time, that's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Noon hour on a Thursday where we kind of get our weekend crank at XL Primetime, moving up into the noon slot, prime time. Happy to be with you until 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then the Frangie Show will come up after that. Jaguars programming at 4 o'clock this afternoon, so things move around just a little bit, but this much we do know. You guys stick with 1010XL all day long, and we appreciate that. So whoever's in, we're always here to hopefully hang out with you, and you can definitely jump in and get involved in the show. And I just like to start off a very special Thursday as I'm wearing my LA Dodgers hoodie, because this is the beginning of our weekend. So this is a perfect time for the Corona Call, celebrating a World Series title. Yeah, it was so good last night. And again, it started off in the worst of ways, and you're thinking to yourself, this is not going to go well. My worst fears realized, going up 3-0 in a World Series, soon to be down 3-2, heading back to L.A., licking your wounds. That's kind of what it felt like. You went from basically a 2-run homer and then a solo. You were down 0-2, 0-3, then 0-5. And you're thinking there's no end in sight, and it's just not going well. They chased your starter. Flaherty run in the – it was just – nothing was going right for this Dodgers baseball team last night after everything had gone so well with the first 3 games. Bottom line is they looked like they were in a heap of trouble, and then they came out of it. The 5th inning will forever be known as one of the greatest stretches for the Dodgers coming back, but also one of the greatest flops for the New York Yankees.
So they handled the adversity and came back and won the game.
Yeah, they did.
What you're saying?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, we need some of that magic.
You want to take some of that recipe?
we need to take some of that magic.
And bring it and put it on the Duval charter up to Philly. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if they handled adversity as much as – this is coming from the guy who watched his first baseball game last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if they handled adversity as much as they just sat back and watched the Yankees implode.
Well, the Yankees helped them in every way imaginable. You can't ask for that many things to come together and go wrong for one side and go right for the other side. But they still put the bat on the ball when they needed to. They still made plays. Judge's error, the 2 worst were Judge's error, just a routine fly ball. He was basically looking to see if he could throw out the runner at second. And then the other one was Garrett Cole not covering the bag at first base.
You see what Matt just did, right? Yeah. He stole your thunder.
Oh, yeah, he did.
You were narrating how
that team likes to steal thunder, don't I?
He loves to steal thunder. You were narrating how the Dodgers came back through adversity. He said, I don't know if it's so much coming through adversity.
There's no joy in Whoville for him.
I see.
You know why? It's this franchise. That's why. This franchise just sucks the life out of you, man.
But again, don't let this franchise drag you down, okay?
I feel like I'm down there with them now, you know?
Honestly, the series...
Just trudging along in the muck and mud and disgustingness of, as terrible football.
I don't even want to talk about that right now. As we have decided, the gentleman's sweep, it had everything. In 5 games, you had 2 grand slams, which is so rare. You had Freddie Freeman set a major league mark with 6 consecutive baseball games in which he hit home run in the World Series. Not 6 straight games, 6 straight World Series games.
That's pretty good.
Time as a Brave, and then 4 games as a L.A. Dodger. And this was without Shohei Ohtani being at his best. But some of the stuff that Mookie Betts did in the outfield, that he did at the plate, and the other guys, you can certainly rattle off a few that made their share of plays. Tommy Edmonds, just one of those scrappy players that at times was able to get the job done and deliver timely hits. But it came down to ultimately you had to have it. They found a way to get it. And Freddie Freeman's couple of baseballs that he hit so hard, one that Aaron Judge robbed him of, a big-time hit, and then the other one certainly ignited that run. And then Mookie's little just kind of blipper down the first base line is where Garrett Cole should have handled that one. I believe that. Yeah, that was the one, and he didn't.
It's like
handle
a little nubber.
Yeah.
That's day one spring training. Cover the bag.
Honestly, I could not believe that Garrett Cole did not cover.
You know what
that.
I think it was?
And he pitched his. You want to know why?
Oh my God, he was pitching so good.
He pitched his fanny off.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely gassed at that moment and thought Rizzo would be able to get there. Well, Rizzo's a big heifer.
Dude.
Yeah.
I you know what? I think you could be right there. You know what I actually think it really was? That he sees the little nubber and he thinks, I'm out of this inning, man.
He did.
I'm out of this inning with no runs. And he wasn't thinking about covering the flipping bag.
But as John Schmaltz always, or he said quite often in the broadcast, and you can talk to this one, Leon, the moments get bigger when it's in the postseason, and you can't take anything for granted. And so Smoltz was preaching those little things that you absolutely, that routine fly ball, you make that play every single time, but you just all of a sudden, whatever, the stakes are so much higher that you may not, you may let that get in the way of your thoughts or your instincts. And then obviously in this case, Garrett Cole has to cover the bag.
I mean, listen, when the lights get brighter, it's not the big things. It's the little ones. It's the small details. It's the small details that separates the who's holding the trophy, who's hosting the trophy, and who's walking in the locker room, sad and gloomy.
And just basically nodding their head like, how the hell did that slip away?
That part right there.
And both the big sticks, Aaron Judge, who his bat had been quiet up until this point, and then Giancarlo basically had carried them quite a bit, had success through the ALCS and then obviously into the World Series. Well, both of those guys knocked him out of the park. Volpe, again, want to talk about a spark plug. That cat, major spark plug. Verdugo, major spark plug. And they had it going their way. They were feeling it, loving it. And they had Garrett Cole basically on a mission to make sure that they didn't pull him out of this game. And he goes, the 88 pitch mark was a big talking point coming out of game one because Aaron Boone decided to pull him in game one, brought a guy in who had not been on the mound in a while. And he gets, he gets just absolutely worked. LA wins that first game. Everyone's talking about how the hell did you do that? Why did you pull Garrett Cole off? Well, this time he gets into the fifth inning. And like we said, he pitched a ton more than he would have expected. He did not have to use that many pitches through the first 4 innings. And then he gets into the fifth. He can't get out of the fifth. And the beautiful thing about this new rule that's been around now for a couple of seasons is that pitch clock is there to speed up the game, but it can really hurt the pitcher. And you do not have time to really you can't catch your breath. And that's basically what happened to Garrett Cole. And then all of a sudden he was swimming. So he goes, and you're thinking.
But he was out of it.
But you're thinking.
He was out of the inning with no runs.
Yeah. But you're thinking when it all was said and done, and it went from 5-0 lead to a 5-5 tie, you're thinking, he's gone. He came back. And still went over the 100 pitch mark. I can't remember the last time.
Dude, he was in the 90 pitch mark and throwing 99.
He had. There was no way he was going to leave that game without getting and they were able to get the lead back. And so he was in a great position. And then great theater last night as the Dodgers were able to come from behind twice to win that game. Incredible stuff. So you guys can hit us on the text line 641-1010 if you did watch last night. Tonight, you got a little trick-or-treating to do. You got some Halloween candy to give out. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of people doing that. Favorite Halloween candy? Big Sirs? Favorite
Halloween candy? Twix.
Okay. Can't go wrong with those.
Can't go wrong with Twix.
Listen, I'm a Baby Ruth and a peanut M&M guy.
Okay.
Those are my favorites. And I will send little M&M and little lemon out there looking tonight as they circle the neighborhood and pick up great
candy.
Here's
a candy that you don't pass out candy corn. No one likes it.
Yeah.
Stay away. Why do we always go there?
Who likes candy corn? You like candy corn?
I don't necessarily like it, but I'll have a few.
Yeah, I've never.
They're disgusting.
Yeah,
it's pure sugar.
Don't put it in the bag.
I would have 2
what's your
or 3
favorite?
pieces, but I'm not going to eat like
Listen, when
I mean, anything Reese's, man.
Yeah.
Anything that has any kind of
Listen,
Reese's.
I was a kid. If you put candy corn in my bag, the
Yeah, you're
next day,
upset. Me too.
next day, I'm coming back knocking on your door.
Give it back.
Yeah, I don't want this. I want this.
All right, favorite Halloween candy, 641-1010. You guys could throw a couple of them at us tonight. And look, I'm jacked up, but little lemon, little M&M, little G-Babes, they're going to be all fired up and ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they got some kind of crazy costume set up tonight. And so Nona and Pops will be handing candy out, and son-in-law and Andy will be taking them around, hopefully raking in some good candy. All right, so the World Series is in the books. Now you got your Saturday and Sunday of November to look forward to. This big slate Saturday, including the cocktail party right here, Florida, Georgia. We will have our relive the rivalry moments as we go along through the day today, thanks to Sawgrass Asset Management. We relive the rivalry with the great moments, but also give you a chance if you hear the Gator chomp, you hear the Georgia band strike up. At any point, you got a chance to call RJ at 641-1010. Jump in and get qualified for those great prizes, including you're going to have a chance to be in the stadium, ducats, and then, of course, you're going to be able to pick up one of those beautiful grab bags either on the Florida side or the Georgia side from Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall, all thanks to Sawgrass Asset Management. So let's just do a little Jag talk here because we're going to say hello to Sal Palantonio about an hour from now. He's the guy who penned that book when the Philadelphia Eagles had their Super Bowl win and certainly drilled down on Doug Peterson and his success up there. But it's got to be a little weird for Doug to go back up there. Probably felt like after 2 9-8 seasons when he was heading back up to Philly, he might be in a better position than he finds himself in right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's going back to Philly. He's probably going to be applauded up there in Philly. I'm more than likely he's going to be applauded. I'm not sure the fans. Doug is quite welcome here in Jacksonville the way the team's been playing. But he's legendary up there in Philly. I mean, I had fans tell me if they saw Doug in the bar, they got the tab, they got the drink, they got the meal, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's good to go down memory lane and remember what you did up there because what he did was magnificent. To be quite honest with you. I mean, you take your starting quarterback goes down, you take in Joe Flacco, and you go in there, you beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a great Super Bowl, by the way.
Well, Nick Foles, St. Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a great Super Bowl. The fact that they boldly went for that Philly special, again, Press Taylor gets a little bit of credit for that, bad boy too.
Mm-hmm.
But the statue was erected outside of the link, and the rest is history, and you can't take it away from them. The city of brotherly love was trying to get to the Super Bowl. They got there back in, 1980, and then denied. They got to the Super Bowl when they played here with Donovan McNabb when he was throwing up right there at the line of scrimmage.
I remember that.
Yeah, and denied again, and then they finally were able to get through. And you want to talk about a city that had been suffering for a long time.
Yeah, and those fans aren't easy to please.
No.
You got to win the chip in order to satisfy them.
Yeah, to get over on Belichick and all that. So, yeah, it is. It's the stuff of legend. But I guarantee you Doug thought he'd be on better ground, better footing with his football team heading up there in early November, that he would be in a playoff race. If you take a look at it, Nick Sirianni has been up, down, up, down, up, down this year, but they've rallied. They scored, like we said, they were the last. They still have not scored through, 8 weeks of football.
Mm-hmm.
They still have not scored a single point in the first quarter, yet they erupted for, 37 points the other day against the Bengals. So they're a good football team. Jacksonville can go up there and make it competitive because both of these teams have an offense to score. Both these teams have a defense that can give up some points as well.
Yeah, but one of these teams is winning games, and one of them
very much so
has zero confidence in, I'm guessing, anything they do.
Yeah,
it's very difficult. And Leon can speak this because he's an NFL player. You're 2-6. The first time anything happens negative in a game, I don't care. You can say it doesn't impact it. Absolutely impacts that team.
Well, it depends on how you respond to it. I mean, yeah, this team, as of late during this season, has not responded well to adversity when they get down to such. I mean, they turned the corner a little bit last week against Green Bay.
Yeah,
they turned the corner a little bit last week against Green Bay, going down 10 points and then coming back and then taking the lead and then going to tie the game, and then our defense gives up a big play to where they kick a field goal. So, I mean, my issue with this team is not so much offensively, because I think offensively we're doing – now we're down receivers. Right. Guys have got to step up. I think that we're running the ball. I think Trevor played outside of that interception. He's been throwing the ball well. But I think defensively, man, we We still can't get any pass rush. We still can't stop the run. And you're going against a team is a double-edged sword. You're talking about RPO City up in Philadelphia. You know, and Saquon Barkley's having a hell of a season. He's getting after the last 2 games over 100 yards, 187 yards against the Giants. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're going to have to stop the run. We're going to have to make this team one-dimensional and see what happens. But I don't think we have the personnel to do it.
Well, I want to take that, and we'll make it the 10-10 take early today because this is something that we can talk about. Nick Sirianni has, like we said, been up, down, and we know that Doug's down right now based on this record. But this is also a battle of GMs.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 tape. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue. You're craving a good lunch or dinner or whatever. You're out and about. Head on in to any one of your area Sonny's. You can always count on great protein. That'd be ribs, chicken, pork, turkey, brisket, whatever it might be, along with those delicious sides. Lunch, dinner, tailgating plans, whatever it might be, make sure it's Sonny's. So this is not just Doug versus Nick. This is Howie Roseman, who has been in 100% complete and total control of the Philadelphia Eagles for a while and has done pretty dang good things, recognized as one of the better GMs in the National Football League. And he went out, you mentioned Saquon Barkley, Leon, he went out and got guys to drop in pods of problems that they had to make that football team better. They've also drafted the likes of Jalen Carter, and you can go down the line with a lot of the other guys that they've had. And so they have been able to construct a football team with finding money to make sure they re-signed A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. You can go down the line with the guys that they have put monies in their back pocket, including Jalen Hurts, all inside that locker room, and then gone out and got the other guys. Meanwhile, you take a look at what's been done here with this general manager. So I think it's worth looking at. That's the 10-10 take, and we should do a little bit more of that because I want to hit what they did with their free agents and what they did with their draft classes compared to what this group. And by the way, they're drafting a lot further down more often than this team is. So this team's got to pick ahead of Philadelphia in almost every draft. The last dozen drafts, sans a couple of them. And we'll look at those coming up here in just a second. But Roseman v. Balky, who's winning that GM discussion? We'll keep it going. It is XL Primetime on a Thursday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Tom McManus, and I give you a window into what it's like on the field wearing black and teal. Catch my stories and analysis thanks to renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's Risk-Free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started. At stonecore.co, we do outdoors better.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all-you-can-eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
The
Florida Theater welcomes the remarkable Luis Elizondo November 8th. The former head of the Pentagon's UFO program and a #1 New York Times bestseller shares his incredible insights into the unexplained. Dive deep into the mysteries of the universe and explore the truth behind UFOs like never before. It's your chance to experience a captivating evening filled with intrigue and discovery. Luis Elizondo, November 8th. Get your tickets today at floridatheater.com.
Chris Doring is chomping at the bit to tell you about today's Gators.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
With Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tuesday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. On 1010XL.
This is Jerry Holland, Duval County Supervisor of Elections. If you're like me, there never seems to be enough hours in the day. You seem to be on the go from sunup to sundown, which is why I vote early. Listen, this ballot is very long. I'm talking at least 2 pages, and that's why I need the flexibility of early voting. I can choose a location that works for me and my schedule. You can cast your ballot at any of our 24 early voting sites. Visit northfloridavotes.com.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1-mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at mackenziesrun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. mackenziesrun.org.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
Got one more thing to do. Come on over here, Freddie. This is the Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet. Freddie Freeman, it's all yours.
Well, there ain't no doubt that dude deserved that one. And Freddie, originally from SoCal and went to Atlanta, helped them win a World Series. Like we said, put together a highlight reel that few will ever touch. And he is now in that October lore, like Reggie, up there in Yankees lore with his Mr. October nickname, and well-deserved. But Freddie did some stuff that we had not seen. and his hands are just so dang fast, and was able to not only leave the yard 4 straight games, including the Grand Slam game 1, but then also he drove it right to the wall. Aaron Judge made a great play against him, but then also was able to get the other one off the wall after that. So it was just great stuff. American Electrical, they can light up your world just like Freddie lit it up last night. You can go to american-electrical.com and check out everything that they've got. Now, we've been talking about the Jags World Series. We're going to get into some college ball. Roman Harper coming up in about 15 minutes. There's definitely a mixed bag on whether or not candy corn is good or not. But another one coming in, peanut butter cups are my favorite. Yeah. And then honestly, mini Snickers, you can't go wrong. A favorite Halloween candy, those little boxes of Nerds. I like them. But I'm more like I want to get to that Snicker and that Baby Ruth. But look, the
Baby Ruth.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's a little curveball, I think.
It's my favorite, man.
Wow.
Peanut M&Ms and Baby Ruths all day long. I think it's the perfect candy bar.
What about $100,000 bar?
It's pretty good too. It's pretty good. But see, you don't see those as often.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Do you remember whatchamacallit?
Yes. Yeah. Those were good.
Those were good.
And the Nutter Butters, I like any of those. Those are good. High Tide on the South Side. Candy corn is the Nickelback of Halloween candy. It's really pretty good. But everyone seems to unite behind their disdain for it. Seems unwarranted and a little mean-spirited. And I'm not disagreeing with that. I still do not care for candy corn, but I do love Nickelback. More than most, that's for sure. All right, here's another one. Saquon is going to light this team up like D. Henry did for years. Up until this past week, sirs, this team was decent against the run. They had been. And then we know what Josh Jacobs did. We know what Malik Willis did. Saquon is really starting to catch his feel and form.
Yeah, I mean, we used to be good against the run. Then you got questionable lineups. You got guys in there, in the preseason starting in week 7 and 6 or 7. So I mean, you've got to somehow make the Eagles one-dimensional because if Saquon can run and they can RPO us with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to light us up because we got issues in the secondary as well, bro.
Yeah, if you are doing any kind of like Hard Rock, the Hard Rock bet has just got unbelievable props. You start taking a look at some of the combinations and what A.J. Brown has been able to do, what Devonta Smith has been able to do when they get it going. Oh, my gosh. Against this secondary, who the heck knows what's going to happen. This football team can score with them, but they can't stop them.
Can't stop them. Yeah, I've got issues now with us scoring a lot of points because we're down receivers. With guys that got to step up. Parker Washington's got to step up. Got to get more touches to BTJ. Is he going to be playing? Is he going to be playing this week? And he's got a rib, core issue, or whatever's going on with him. Yeah. Not sure of his status. Got to get Evan Ingram more touches. You got to get Tank out the backfield. All those kind of things. All those different variables. Got to protect Trevor. The defensive front is going to be, especially interiorly. I mean, they got some big boys in the middle. You know how we do against, furniture movers. We don't do well against them.
They don't fare well.
We don't fare well against them, the big body people. So, we got a lot. Being 2-6 is enough, but the chips are stacked up against us. But I've seen this team in the past, maybe 2022. Somehow make a difference. I don't know if this is definitely not the same team, but got to pull something through.
No, because whenever a team pulls themselves out of the ashes, whatever team we're talking about, they did suck up until that point, and then all of a sudden got right. And I don't really understand how the formula can be flipped that quickly, but you are proof of that. It can and has happened. When this team came, going back to 22, they were with a similar record. I just don't expect anything like that to turn right
now. I don't see them playing inspired football.
No. All right, let's hit at that right now, RJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So on that note, player of the month for October, NFC defensive player Xavier McKinney. And McKinney has been balling this entire time, was at the top of the interception stats coming into the game. And he had the pick. As soon as Jarian Jones picked off Jordan Love.
Soul-sucking pick.
Yeah, handed the ball back to the offense. And Trevor, his rear end's right on the goal line when he takes the snap, but drops back and throws it, and McKinney made that play. He made a hell of a play, and they turned around and scored off of that play, which basically took whatever momentum Jacksonville just robbed from them and gave it right back to him. McKinney, so far in the month of October, 10 tackles, 3 passes defended, 2 interceptions, fumble recovery, and a sack. That any good?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's a guy making plays, that's for sure. And so that's the type of stuff that you'd like to see. So let me get back real quick to what we were talking about with what Howie Roseman has done versus what Trent Baalke has done. And I just ask you, Leon, just look at the simple makeup of the team. You certainly have to have veterans that can do their job and be leaders, but you also have to constantly inject youth and new talent. And it seems like he's done a good job of that throughout his career.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, he's got Bulldogs on his team. Very good Bulldogs on his team.
True.
That have an impact on that. We got 2 LSU guys who gave up a mass amount of yards interiorly as far as running the football.
Can I just ask you real quick? Let me get this right. So you're suggesting to me that Howie Roseman said, I'm going to look into the SEC and I'm going to find the best players on the best team in the SEC.
That part.
And then the other guy, Trent Baalke here, he went and said, I'm going to get the guys off the worst defense in the SEC.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's a telltale story right there. That's enough said.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm following along here.
Well, that was the first thing that popped in my head. The comparisons. You go get Bulldogs who proven commodities, winners, under Kirby Smart, and then you go get 2 guys out of LSU who gave up more yards than Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's so funny that we were talking a little bit about this yesterday. What Brad Holmes has done up in Detroit and just how dominant he's been as far as constructing a football team, taking advantage of draft picks, and he goes and he gets guys that he knows can make plays on both sides of the ball. He hadn't necessarily been a guy that has fallen in love with any one thing. He goes and gets what he needs, and it could be Brian Branch, it could be Jahmyr Gibbs, it could be Sam Laporta. We can go down Dan Campbell.
I mean, honestly,
Dan Campbell, but
they couldn't cover in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
their first 2 picks of the draft were both corners.
Yeah,
it's not brain surgery here, right?
Yeah, but by the way, just for what it's worth, the first pick that they took cornerback-wise has been getting torched. So let's just make sure we make that clear. So they're not all perfect.
He's been getting torched.
Well, in the first 4 games of this season, he was getting embarrassed.
He's also, he's a rookie. Come on.
Exactly.
Man.
That's what happens. And whenever you're put out there, you got to be able to make plays. And if you're not, they sit you down. Not unlike what happened here when Tyson Campbell was a rookie. I totally get it. But my only point is that you can't help but recognize that they, for the most part, have been able to get quite a few through the draft and then fill in the holes through the free agent ranks. And you can go back in time. And obviously, when Doug was there, they had a big offensive line. They definitely were productive. There's a guy that before Jalen Reagor, not the guy that they were hoping. Jalen Hurts in the second round. They've obviously been able to get a handful of other guys like Devonta Smith. Landon Dickerson, pretty good player.
Here's another thing with the Lions. They don't let the bling distract them.
Mm-hmm.
Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
They needed a tackle. They got Penei Sewell.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't let the bling bother him.
Yeah.
And now look at Penei Sewell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the Eagles now, but I get exactly what you're saying. I'm just talking about the Eagles specifically now.
I'm kind of bringing it back to the Jags because that's kind of what we do here. But it's just when you play games like this against organizations that know what they're doing, it really kind of pulls the curtain back to how poor the process is here.
Well, I hate to even feed you a couple of these, but if you go and look at Landon Dickerson, who was drafted in 2021, and then you look at Cam Jurgens, who was drafted in 2022, both of them were taken in the second round. And as soon as Jason Kelce said, hey, Hall of Fame career, see you later, I'm going to go ahead and move on, then Jurgens just slides right in there.
Right.
Yeah, and so it is something else in that regard, that's for sure. All right, 641-1010, you guys jump in, let us know your thoughts on some of that stuff. Let's say hello to Roman Harper. We're going to flip it to Florida, Georgia. We're going to flip it to the SEC and some college football talk with the great Crimson Tide star coming up.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Total Wine and More is having a Taste of Town November 8th and 9th from noon to 6 both days. Enjoy great liquor brands, craft beer, and more. Brackish Vodka is excited to announce 6 additional flavors, and all can be sampled and purchased at the Total Wine and More Taste of Town November 8th and 9th. Come to Total Wine at the Town Center and sample great local brands. Brackish Vodka is a proud partner of the Jaguars and proud to be supporting the Taste of Town.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing and winning with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Brian Thomas Jr. will get more than 81.5 yards receiving, or Jahmyr Gibbs will rush for more than 70.5 yards, or Justin Herbert will throw for more than 255.5 yards? It's just that simple. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my pick hits, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hacker here. By now, you've probably heard I dropped over 100 pounds with Awaken 180. And now we want you to come celebrate with me at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra for a Florida-Texas watch party. Saturday the 9th. Yep, we'll celebrate my weight loss with great food at a Gator watch party. And for a chance for you and a guest to win a free tab at my table, text the word Chubby to the 1010XL text line at 641-1010. Plus, I'll have ticket giveaways and more fun at Mr. Chubby's in Ponte Vedra.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Yo, it's your boy E.T. here, and come watch the Jags-Eagles game with me. That's right, I'll be at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra on Sunday. $9 pitchers, best wings in town, and the NFL package with all the games on. They've got 54 TVs in that thing, so you won't miss anything. I'll be giving out some swag, too, from 1010XL and Mr. Chubby's. It's going to be a party, so make sure you come say hi. Again, $9 pitchers this Sunday at 4. Eagles-Jags at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra. Mr. Chubby's Wings, proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Pour down in the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 31st, 2004, the Pittsburgh Steelers snapped the New England Patriots' NFL record 21-game winning streak, defeating the Patriots 34-20.
Picture this. It's a dark and stormy night, and your toilet is acting possessed. But fear not, for Duck Duck Rooter is here to exorcise those plumbing demons and banish them to the netherworld. So if you're facing a plumbing horror story straight out of a nightmare, summon the spectral expertise of Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769 and bid those plumbing phantoms farewell. Duck Duck Rooter, where we tackle plumbing scares so you don't have to.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Range for our White Tag sales event. Up to 20% off all White Tag firearms all October with a huge selection of guns, ammo, and gear, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got what you need to hit your target. If you're a pro or just starting, their friendly experts will guide you at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Guns and Range. Gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Parker Washington has a big opportunity in front of him with the season-ending injury to Christian Kirk. Trevor Lawrence on the improvement he's seen from Parker Washington.
He's been great. Just the improvements he's made on knowing the system, the ins and outs. Like last year when he played a lot, he knew the system, but I think understanding why you do things a certain way, running routes a certain way versus different coverages or zones or sitting in certain spots. I think just all of that he's developed a lot more over the past year. And, because he had a full offseason, he had all this time in the offseason to train, and he looks great. He's explosive. You see him when he came in on Sunday, playing on the outside, playing on the inside. He can move around and just do a lot of things that help us.
Trevor Lawrence on Parker Washington. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Always great to say hello to a great player for Alabama for the New Orleans Saints back in the day. Roman Harper joins us now, part of SEC Network. You will see him with SEC Nation here in Duval. Roman, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing good, fellas. How you guys, man? Can't wait to fly into tomorrow. Maybe I see some Halloween leftovers.
Yeah, you will. You
leftover crossover. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, come on in, man, because you'll be able to have a good time, and especially if you do make your way around RV City, there'll still be plenty of stuff going on down there. And I'm guessing you'll be able to at least see the sights. Florida and Georgia will be well represented there, Roman. But will Florida be well represented in the game itself? How are you looking at this one?
I mean, that's yet to be determined. I think DJ Lagway gives them this element of the unknown, the element of the big play that you probably didn't get all the time before when they were splitting time between him and Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz, of course, he's reliable, he's accurate, he's going to be on time with the football. But it's something to be said about the element of the unknown that you really can't coach, prepare for. It's a whole bunch of, oh, no, then yes type of situations that Lagway can give you that you just don't know how to say. And Georgia has been susceptible to the deep ball from time to time this year. Let's just go back to what Mississippi State was able to do and have some success with. Not saying that Mississippi State was close to win that game, but they were successful in throwing the football downfield, which now Florida's receivers look a little bit faster. They seem to pop out on tape a little bit more because of the ability of the quarterback and him being able to throw the football down the field.
Now, Roman, this is the time of the year, if I'm not mistaken, when Georgia just tends to turn it up a notch now. I was a little concerned with them earlier in the season against Alabama and Mississippi State, but that defense is the boogeyman again, is it not?
Hey, look, that was all personality and mentality going into a game. I thought when I saw Georgia play, number one, they were healthy. All right, the health did help them out. Having Michael Williams back, a couple other guys in that front seven really helped them out, and they made plays that made Texas look bad. But the mentality of Georgia and what Kirby talked about after the game, leading into it, Texas thought this was a normal game. And Georgia walked in there and was like, "No, you said something about my mama. I'm about to slap the you-know-what out of you." And so that's what happened. And we all saw it unfold. And Georgia played with a different sense of urgency. They played on another level of speed and definitely physicality. And we thought Texas' O-line was going to be prepared, and they were not. And so Georgia looked that way in spite of Carson Beck turning the football over multiple times in that game. So Georgia showed me that they can win in multiple facets, that I thought maybe they had taken a step back defensively, and I was completely wrong about that. They are still ferocious on that side of the football, especially when they're motivated as much as they were.
All right, so, Roman, Florida's gotten better defensively the last 3 games. It looks like they kind of know what they're doing now, or at least they have an idea of what they want to do, right?
Yeah, getting better is relative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, all right.
But let's look at it this way. Now, I think the Georgia game's a heavy lift, so let's ignore that, all right? Is there an opportunity for Billy Napier to get 2 wins out of at Texas, LSU and Ole Miss at home, and at Florida State? The 2 wins enough to save his job even.
I thought if he beat Tennessee, that was the game saver. Now you're into the gauntlet. I think everybody would have had a lot more grace if you knock off Tennessee because you had them. And then you get Florida State or one of these other ones that you just named. And so Tennessee, for me, was the game saver. It will be interesting to see going down the gauntlet where everybody feels that this Florida team will be at. Because right now, let's be honest, no Florida fans going into this saying how they're going to knock this team off. We got to win this one or that one. Florida's expectations are down. And so what the results may be, if it's a close loss, like how do people feel about that? I can't speak upon the Florida fans because I'm not one. But I can tell you that close losses, in my opinion, don't really count because you still lost the game. I look at the game versus Tennessee as a great example. They were really good defensively until they had to be. When you had a chance to make a tackle in space, they did not make it. Multiple times going down the stretch there, which allowed Dylan Sampson to score a couple times, and that was a difference in the game. So playing complete games are what great teams and good teams do, and they find ways to win games. And bad teams down the stretch or when they have to have it, they don't make the play, and they usually find ways to lose games. And right now, that's still where Florida is.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We're talking with Roman Harper. SEC Nation will be here on the grounds with the cocktail party. Of course, catch him often on SEC Network. It's funny. Sometimes you get the pat on the head, Roman. Hey, that was a hell of a game. You guys played hard. You were so close. But I agree with you, bro. You lost this game. You cost us this game. And I do think that works against Billy instead of props him up.
And my only knock is like, look, man, you had the ball inside the red zone 4 or 5 times early. You got to score points. And we got a guy like Marquise Johnson running the football as hard as he was in that game. And look, I'm not mad at the quarterback sneak that Graham Mertz fumbled until you don't make it. It's the same thing for Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl. He's not mad that they threw the ball until you throw an interception. Now I'm mad. And so those things are the plays, and you never know what play is going to be out of the 80 plays that can cost you. All right, just the same as you don't know what one is going to make that can win the game for you. So you got to be locked in for every single one of these plays. And whether it's in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, it's still one play in the game that could turn it. And Florida had their opportunities, and that's the game where, man, you had Tennessee, and you let them out the gate. And Tennessee's a team that you traditionally have been able to beat regardless of record or situation. And that was just another opportunity to say, yes, we're down, but we still beat them. And that is an opportunity lost for Florida is how I look at that game. As much as we give Tennessee credit for winning it, I look at Florida a lot and say, man, you should have won that.
Now, Roman, we got to talk about your alma mater now. You got 2 losses before Halloween. I'm not used to that, bro.
Yeah, a lot of fans aren't either. And so, but we're in a much better position than a lot of people. And so when you have first world problems, you react like first world people. And so that's why the fans and everybody is doing what they're doing, and I get it. But one thing that gives me a little bit more hope, because 2 weeks ago I didn't think that they had a chance to beat LSU. But what I saw this past weekend out of Kalen DeBoer, himself personally, was something that I think the fans and myself wanted to see out of him, which is more reactionary. Being more aggressive early, whether it's with your body language or being actively getting after refs and being involved and not allowing players to slip. when a penalty happens, you go jump somebody. They need to see that because now, okay, we do need to straighten up. The substitute teacher is no longer here. And so that mentality, whether he wants to admit it or not, for me, looked different. It felt different, and the team responded differently as well. So I like that side of Kalen DeBoer. I think I want to see more of that. Then we'll start to hear less other stuff that Leon's talking about, like what color shirts he wearing, why is he not reacting this way? Like you hear it all when you're losing. That's what everybody does. That's the mob mentality. And sometimes the mob just wants to see blood. And I think Kalen gave him a little bit of blood this past weekend, and they're happy about it.
I at least got to ask about the T-shirt because there was a lot of fallout from Tide Nation.
It's crazy, huh? Like, what are we doing? Is he not a professional? We pay him. Now they start counting his blessings. We pay him this amount of money. Why is he dressed like this? Look, none of that matters when you win. Tiger Woods is the ultimate improvement of that, okay? But when you lose, you open up the door for all the criticism of the fans because once they start paying money, people think it's their money and that we have all of a sudden now we have an opinion on everything. And I'm just like, football is still football. It's still played in between the white lines. And I would just appreciate Kalen DeBoer showing more fire because he's naturally more of a laid-back guy than Nick Saban, and that's fine. But some of these guys only know how to be spoken to one way. And sometimes you only respond to certain things being said to you. And I'm not saying you got to use four-letter words to everybody, but sometimes four-letter words are necessary to describe the situation and get guys to understand the urgency in which we're trying to play right now. And so that is necessary. Not saying Kalen DeBoer uses those words because he does not, but somebody on the sideline needs to every now and then. And Leon can probably attest to that.
To underscore the gravity of the situation, like maybe the guy in Gainesville should do that every once in a while too. So, Roman, we are creatures of the moment. We all know that, right? Why is it, am I wrong in thinking Texas A&M's got a big problem on their hands this weekend in Columbia?
I don't think you're wrong by saying that. First of all, it's a night game. You got to talk about when and where it's being played and what time because that matters in the SEC. And so that gives South Carolina a different mode. They also have a week to prepare where LSU, winning that game, they weren't even thinking about quarterback run. I did a breakdown on it on Read and React on Monday nights. You should catch it SEC Network, 7 p.m. Eastern if you guys are watching or listening. And so what we do is the first play of the game, they do an option look run. They don't even look at the quarterback. Everybody's inside going after the running back. And all of a sudden, Mike Elko, brilliant job of him as well, of making the switch that we're not being effective enough. We're starting to be suffocated by LSU's defense, putting in Marcel Reed, and immediately seeing success. He only threw the ball 2 times, guys. It's not like Marcel Reed lit it up. And so how South Carolina going to react? They're going to be ready for the quarterback run. They also have a better defensive line. Well, I'm not going to say better, but they are much more active. And on the edges, they are better than Texas A&M with Dylan Stewart and Kyle Kennard. These guys are all SEC performers and future NFL talent for sure. And so, and they got defensive tackles that are very active and don't stay blocked. So the quarterback run doesn't look the same versus what Texas A&M does. That is why you're seeing that. But I could also see Texas A&M defensively going out there, hitting sellers, interception. Like weird things happen when you play against South Carolina, especially under Shane Beamer. But I don't anticipate Shane Beamer just sitting on the sideline. He's going to have a fake punt, a fake field goal. He's going to try and affect the game as well to try and make sure he gets all the momentum when he has the opportunity to. The same thing Mike Elko did last week, putting in Marcel Reed over Connor Wegman when he thought his team needed something, and that's what he got. And so I don't think Marcel Reed is the quarterback for the whole season going forward if you're Texas A&M. I think you have the opportunity to make teams worry about both of these guys and playing them in situations. We'll see how that goes. I'm not saying I know anything, but just seeing off of what I saw last week, the fact that LSU was not even close to ready and that other teams will be ready for those things, can you still get the same positive plays like you did last week? I can't say for sure that you will.
Now, Roman, before we let you go, I appreciate you coming on the show. We got to have a nice little cigar bet if Miami and Alabama meet up in the playoffs. You want,
bro, you don't want that.
Smoke? You want this smoke?
Bro, let me tell you you want me to tell you the difference between Miami last year and Miami this year when Mario Cristobal is banging the table talking about how we do it versus any other Florida team, number one, he's correct. But number two, the only difference is Cam Ward. Bro, you guys are the same team and just put in a better quarterback. That's the benefit of the NIL situation and the transfer portal. So right now, you guys are big winners of it, but you've also skinned by your teeth on 2 or 3 games. And you got to get through the season as well, because Clemson don't let you get a loss, and then Clemson don't let you win that ACC championship. You won't be in there. I'll be having my cigar riding down the road.
Why you all on my school?
You'll be back there looking at it.
Listen,
you started it.
Well, you on the 5th floor. We on the 12th. Y'all looking up with 2 losses.
That's fine. That's fine. But if we run the table, you can't say we ain't going to be in. We'll be just fine.
Well, I
hope
we
still
see
got
you.
some stuff out there.
I
There
hope
we go.
we
I
see
hope
you.
we see you too.
All right, because I'm undefeated against y'all. I just let you know. I ain't never lost no Alabama.
You knew he'd bring that up, bro. Right there. See that last thing he just said? You knew he'd do that.
And I've never played against the Miami team, so I don't care. None of that past matters. I know this.
What do you mean none of that
You
past
guys-
matters? What do you mean? There's no there's no expiration date on greatness.
I
that
agree
part.
with you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why exactly. How many? That's why I don't even want to do that to you, but I'm going to have to.
What you gonna do?
You're
What you
just
gonna
getting
do?
a little bit louder. I mean, you can count up our national championships, boss.
How many you got?
Look, that doesn't matter. My school has them.
Your school. I'm
Yeah,
talking about when
now
you
we
were.
don't-
I'm talking about when you were
So
there.
now, I didn't play Miami. I don't have anything.
I just
to do
asked
with
you how many championships you had. That's all I asked, bro.
I have 0 national championships in my dresser, but my school has 18.
Okay.
See, that's what.
All right.
I got 3, and my school has 5.
I mean, that means you guys are good when you were there.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point. Listen, you guys.
That means you guys are good when you were there.
You guys
And
could definitely.
Neither one of us are lining up on a Saturday.
Facts.
Yeah, could share a stick Friday night when you make it in here. Listen, man, we appreciate it
Deal.
very much,
Let's
Roman,
do that.
as always. And SEC Nation, definitely come on out and celebrate with him and Tim and Laura and Finebaum and Jordan. Thanks, dude. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, man, thank you, man. Appreciate you guys as always for having me. We should do this more often. And Leon.
Yes, sir.
Bet. That's all I got to say is bet.
You don't want this smoke.
Oh, thanks, buddy. All right, that's good stuff. And you can definitely check him out. Like he said, Read and React, along with everything else that's going on. He's part of the SEC Network and SEC Nation. We head into the 1 o'clock hour. We're going to say hello to Sal Palantonio. Talk Eagles, Jags next on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Gotta go to work, guys. Gotta go to work. We gotta go to work.
It was the point where they shifted into high gear. Go. It's the Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game.
This feel good. That feel good.
On 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance painting. Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass, and he told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Will the Gators bring the swamp to the 904?
Yeah!
Or will the Dogs hedge another victory?
Oh, yeah!
Florida-Georgia Week is celebrated by Kingfish Pest Control and Ackerman Urology and Cancer Center on 1010XL.
This is David Lane. After suffering through several painful injuries to my shoulder, back, and knees, I've taken my issues to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and without fail, they've been a tremendous help towards solving my problems. If you have any orthopedic situations, don't procrastinate. Take action today. Give those aches and pains to the pros at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Can you believe they've been cleaning carpets in Jacksonville now for 20 years? Dave Benyon, his family, and staff are so grateful of things and appreciate you, their great customers. In fact, October's birthday month for Zero Res. So what are we doing for customers? Just say happy birthday, Zero Res, and we'll give you $50 off. That's $50 off carpet, tile, and grout, upholstery, or area rugs. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988. So call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
Want to show your kids something really cool? Take them by the Kuhn Flowers window display on Beach Boulevard. 1010XL's RJ Saunders here, and there's no better way to introduce your kids to Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Brought to you by St. Nicholas Guns and Range. The Orlando Magic lost to the Chicago Bulls last night, blowing a 20-point lead in the second half, falling to the Bulls 102-99, with the Magic losing composure in the third quarter as they were outscored 27-9 in the first 8 minutes of the second half. Magic's head coach Mosley shared his thoughts post-game.
2 34-point quarters is not playing the full 48. We had spells of it. Started the right way, played hard the right way, moved the basketball, shared the basketball, defended, and then they started to pick the pace up, started making shots, and we let go of it a little bit. But again, for us to continue to hang our hat on the defensive end, cannot give up 34-point quarters back-to-back.
Orlando's 5-game road trip makes its second stop tomorrow night in Cleveland, tipping off against the Cavaliers at 7. It's 82 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Pleasure to say hello to Sal Palantonio, covering all things National Football League for a long, long time. Primarily, you see him hailing from the Northeast, and he certainly knows Philadelphia, so a perfect time to dial his phone. Welcome in, Sal. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on the program. I appreciate it.
Hey, no doubt. When we had you on before, when you definitely helped Tony Baselli get into the Hall of Fame. We had you on when you had the book with Doug Peterson. So there's always something we can tie back to Sal. But Doug going back to Philadelphia, and we said at the beginning of the show, he's not anywhere near he hoped he would be at this time of the season, returning to the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, and this is a bad time to come to play the Philadelphia Eagles because, you know, the truth is they're getting things buttoned up. You know, I always say that the moment of truth in the NFL is the midway point, what I like to call separation Sunday, is week 8. Now it's really week 8 and 9 because of the 17-game season. So you begin to see teams separate themselves from the pack. And the last 3 weeks, the Philadelphia Eagles have been able to do that. And I always look at 2 things as the second half of the season begins. Number 1, very important, is the quarterback turning the ball over. And Jalen Hurts has played 3 clean games in a row. This was a big problem for him for the last year and a half. He was on pace to turn the ball over at a record amount of times in Philadelphia Eagles history, and he's really cleaned that up. And he has astonished a lot of people, including myself, in doing so. And then the second thing, points allowed on defense. This is a real big issue in the NFL. Why? Because points being scored at a 14-year low in the NFL right now. Points scored per game is at a 14-year low. So all across the board, there are fewer and fewer points being scored. So if you're giving up a lot of points in the NFL or a lot of touchdown passes in the NFL, it's a major red flag. And the Eagles have cut down on that. And I'm looking at the Jaguars with 17 touchdown passes surrendered, tied with the Panthers for the most. Yeah. And that's, you don't want to be in the same conversation right now with the Carolina Panthers. Now, I realize the Texans have got 16, the Ravens have got 17, but the Texans and the Ravens are scoring points. The Bucs have given up 15. The Bucs are scoring points too. But if you're giving up that many touchdown passes and you're not scoring points, it's a big problem. So those are the 2 areas where I see the Eagles have definitely improved and where Jacksonville has not.
Yes, Al, you hit right on the button. That's our concern. We can score points, but we can't defend. And we're for you know what. So I mean, how you think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to come into this game and attack our defense, where we can't stop the run and we can't cover in the secondary?
Well, you know, they have developed a really good 1-2 punch in the running game in the last 3 weeks. Number 26, Saquon Barkley, and he's done it with power, and he's done it with speed. And he's done it with really superior design. So let's take the power. He's running over guys on the edges. You know, he's been squatting a lot in the weight room with Jalen Hurts. And we all know that Jalen Hurts coming out of Alabama, he was the weight room king as far as squat weights was concerned. So the two of them have been really getting stronger in the lower half of their bodies. I realize this is some kind of inside baseball, but it's really important to know that if your quarterback is strong and your running back is strong in the running game at the same time, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch. We always talk about thunder and lightning in a running game. Saquon is thunder and lightning. Usually we talk about that in two backs. Barkley does it by himself. And the lightning is he has reached routinely over 21.5 miles per hour in the open field. Against the Giants, it was 21.9, second only to Derrick Henry this year. So he's been power, he's been speed, and then the design. It took a while, gentlemen. It took a while. I went to Brazil with the Eagles week 1, and you could see that it has taken a long time for Cam Jurgens to really fill the role of Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey's going to Canton. He's going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, all pro at the position. So it was going to take a while for Cam Jurgens to really figure it out, but he's figured it out. He's figured it out really well, especially on the power sweeps to the left side. And when I say he's out in front, he's pulling, grabbing a linebacker, going hunting for a corner or a safety at the third level. He's really, really beginning to duplicate what Jason Kelsey did on those power sweeps designed by Jeff Stoutland, who I believe is one of the best offensive line coaches in the National Football League.
Hey, Sal, you know Doug. You've known him for a long time. Is it surprising to you that for one reason or another, he can't seem to stop the bleeding right now? All that, goes all the way back to last season, then all the way into this season, and it's just they just can't seem to stop it right now. Is that surprising to you?
Well, he's an offensive coach, and really the number one issue has been on defense. So I would say as a head coach, obviously, you own the whole thing. We get that. But they haven't been able to fix it. They've had some injuries. I think the surprising thing to me is that Trevor Lawrence has been so inconsistent. That's the most surprising thing to me. Because Doug is a really good offensive coach and a really good quarterbacks coach. So that surprises me. This is a situation where in that division they have an opportunity still to get into the playoffs by winning the division. Houston's banged up. Indy's got a quarterback issue. You don't really know what's going on with Tennessee. It's still possible for them to slide in, but they got a lot to fix, and time's running out.
We're talking with Sal Paolantonio. You can definitely catch him on ESPN. Big news as far as what's cooking in his world that we will give you in just a minute. But the leadership part that you mentioned, Doug is a good coach, and I named it, Sal, as the most professional hire this team's made since Tom Coughlin. But it just seems like the erosion with the game plan, with the communication on offense, with Press Taylor, who's really calling play, all that stuff has become all of a sudden just like this big behemoth, and it doesn't look like Doug is comfortable right now for some strange reason.
I agree with you. I can't put my finger on it either. I haven't had a chance to visit really with Doug for a while. Obviously, I will this weekend to a certain degree. Obviously, it's game day, and there's not really much going on in terms of real-time communication between coaches and reporters before the game, or maybe after the game. So maybe we'll see. But Doug is my guy, and the way he kept that team together in 2017, despite losing what they lost in terms of the quarterback and the middle linebacker and their best special teams player and their left tackle, and still go in there and beat Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. It's still, to me, one of the greatest accomplishments in Philadelphia sports history. And Doug is he's a terrific sense of awareness guy. So it shocks me that he hasn't been able to turn it around.
Now, Sal, how's that relationship between Sirianni and Hurst? Is it much to do about nothing, or has winning been the cure-all?
Well, winning does do that. You know that, boss. Winning is that cod liver oil under the tongue. No question about it. It'll give you a little bit of a jolt out of whatever funk that you're in. So let me give you the forensics of it. It's pretty clear that after the Tampa Bay loss, I was there that day, and they got, steamrolled out of the building down at Raymond James Stadium, that there was a disconnect between Hurts and Sirianni. Hurts was asked about it after the game, and he said about his coach, "We have our moments." Okay? That's a major red flag. That's an alarm bell to a reporter hearing that. And it was an alarm bell in the building as well. It reverberated throughout the building at the NovaCare facility. And during the bye, Sirianni and Hurts talked at length. And they had a come-to-Jesus moment. And Hurts said as much afterwards in his first press conference post-bye, where he said, we talked, and we realized we're in this together, and we got to get it together. So I think there's still room for growth in terms of the relationship, but I think it's really developed nicely in the last couple of weeks, particularly after Nick went off on the fans after the Eagles beat the Browns when he was on the sideline there, jawboning with the fans, which was a bad look for a Henny head coach, particularly in Philadelphia, though. I think Jalen came to his rescue in the media, defended him a little bit, and that went a long way to kind of moving the relationship in the right direction. And right now, I think they're really in a good spot. It's actually a story that I pitched to our ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown producers. I'd really like to find out what happened in that meeting between the two of them when they closed the door. I may never get to really find out what kind of words were exchanged or what kind of ideas were exchanged, but I'm determined to do so because I think you hit the nail on the head. That's the number one thing going forward. When a team's won 3 straight and they're headed in the right direction, why did that happen when things were off the rails? I think it's important to look at for sure.
Yeah, you get the feeling it's not over story-wise, that's for sure, and you'll be all over it. All right, listen, round of applause, RJ, because this man has been on our television for a long time as far as ESPN is concerned, and he is being inducted into the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame coming up mid-month. And so I told you earlier, my beautiful Italian bride would be so proud of you right now, so congratulations.
Well done, Sal.
Hey, thank you so much. It's November 15th, big gala in Chicago. Teddy Bruschi's in there, Mike Fratello, Dick Vitale, Jim Valvano, and, of course, all the great luminaries. But I wish my dad Vito was alive to join me. I really do, honestly. He would have been really excited to be there. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us.
Yeah, well, he'll be smiling down when he watches your acceptance speech. So congratulations again, Sal. We look forward to the game on Sunday and look forward to that induction.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on the program. I really appreciate it. God bless.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right, Sal.
Sal Palantonio and Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. Pretty sweet.
RJ, can I get a dat real quick?
Yes, sir. Look at RJ working for you.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, here it is. We got to wait a whole calendar year, but I just looked up the Miami Hurricane website. 2025, Labor Day weekend, Notre Dame will be traveling to Miami. The date to be predetermined, Labor Day weekend, either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday night. So, Notre Dame versus Miami.
That sets up beautifully. We'll definitely be paying attention to that one. Let's say hello to Paul Finebaum coming up on a Corona Thursday.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Mondays in the fall are made for talking football.
Let's talk football.
Football! Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Postgame Monday.
Let's talk football.
Makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL.
Joe C for the preferred group, preferred roofing, preferred drywall, preferred gutters, preferred builders. They've got it all. That means when you're thinking about construction, and we know just how rapidly Northeast Florida is growing, and also maybe remodeling and refurbishing and adding an addition to your home. Those things are happening because you don't want to have to pick up and move. So they can handle really all of it for you. You can check out their roofing division, and they are tried and true. make sure you check out preferredroofingjacks.com. If you are in need of roof replacement, make sure you have people you can trust. And for all the building that's going on, preferredbuildersjacks.com. Check out the Preferred Group.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, rolling lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
A hardworking student athlete deserves recognition.
Catch the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Franchi Show.
On 1010XL.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Jags fans, looking for the perfect activity around the holidays? We've got you covered with the inaugural Teal Trot 5K. The race takes place outside Everbank Stadium, Saturday, December 21st. We can't wait to see you there. Your registration includes the 5K, a throwback Jaguars headband, and a ticket to the December 29th game against the Titans. Visit Jaguars.com/Teal Trot to sign up today.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body. For as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with great sports for kids 3 to 17, and winter and spring registration is open right now. New girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter, plus plenty for boys and girls in Nocatee, too. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Where's the longest cave system in the world? The answer in a moment.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much.
Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
With over 400 miles meandering through 3 counties, Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky is the longest cave system in the world.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Well, we know all Duval gets fired up when the cocktail party comes to town, and one side may not be celebrating as much as the other, but let's talk about both of them, Florida and Georgia, with Paul Finebaum. He of the SEC Network and SEC Nation, and you will be able to check him out a little bit later on with the Paul Finebaum Show. Paul, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to get down to Jax tomorrow. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Normally we get to gather up with you on Friday when the Florida-Georgia Game Hall of Fame and everything's taking place down there, but we tried to get you a day early so you'd be able to settle in. So how important is it for Kirby and the Georgia Bulldogs to come out and look the part against their arch rival to keep that kind of that national championship conversation going?
I think it's advantageous, but when you consider that the second this game ends on Saturday night, they have to then get ready for what may be even a more challenging game at Oxford. I don't think the score, as long as Georgia wins, is critical. I mean, they'd rather not look bad, but that is not really what it's about right now. It's not about style points. It's about making sure they're in a position late in the year to be either having a bye or guaranteed a berth in the college football playoff.
Hey, Paul, how in the hell did Georgia ever lose to Alabama after what I saw them do to Texas a couple of weeks ago?
That is a question that there is simply no answer to. But I appreciate you, as a great player, asking me that. There's no way to explain it. The first half was a mirage, and I think what we saw in the second half was more realistic. And we haven't seen that Alabama team since, and I'm not really sure that team exists. I think it was a bunch of gimmick plays, different type of things that Kalen DeBoer threw at Georgia that they simply weren't prepared for in many ways, and then they adjusted, and then nothing really worked in the second half other than a miraculous play by a 17-year-old.
All right, Paul, everyone in the city has heard us break down Billy Napier. I want to get your gut feeling on what has to happen now in the second half of this season for Billy to keep that job.
I think it's, in my mind, it's simple, Matt. Florida State is a must. I think that we all agree on that. And then I think he has to win one of these next 4. Is it Georgia, LSU, Texas, or Ole Miss? If he can do that, that will be the minimum necessary for the administration to stand up and with a straight face say that progress has been made and we like the direction of the program, even though I think the record would be 6-6, and that would have gotten any coach in in Florida history fired. But I think that's how low the bar is, and I think that's how things have been dumbed down at the University of Florida.
See, that's the thing.
You got a lot of guys shaking heads right now, Paul.
Like, we're talking with Paul Finebaum. You definitely can enjoy his work on SEC Network and SEC Nation. And heck, it took me 7 years to get through Florida, and they're going to keep him for 7 years with 7 wins. I just don't understand it, Paul. That's the Florida has now dipped to, I call him a field horse, and an also ran. Isn't that a shame that they're going to accept 7?
Well, now again, before anybody goes to the bank, we're simply speculating right now. But I think it's a legitimate speculation based on, and I trust Matt, you guys, more than what I'm hearing from a couple of 100 miles away. But that seems to be the consensus at the moment, and I don't get it myself. I would have fired Billy Napier last year. I didn't see enough, and I would have been ready to make a move. But that's not how things work now. And we're doing this in baby steps. And while things have looked better this year, I asked this question: who exactly has Florida beaten when your most impressive win of the year was a loss to Tennessee in overtime, that's where we are.
By the way, Paul's scenario also is a 6-win season, not a 7-win season, which puts Napier at 17-20 in 3 years of Florida.
Man.
Hey, Paul, how are you dealing with the 12-team playoff season? I mean, aren't the games a little bit more interesting down the stretch compared to just being the Final Four?
I think it's a lot better. The fact that Miami is in playoff consideration, does that make any sense? I'm kidding, of course. But it is. We have had some important games, but we're about to enter a stretch of playoff eliminators. The first playoff eliminator was really Alabama and Missouri, and that was only because Missouri had no resume and they lost so badly in the two important games. But next week, this Alabama-LSU game, the loser is finished. I don't care, even though you can still say, hey, we're 9-3 and maybe win 10 games. That is not going to be enough. Even Ohio State playing, should the Buckeyes lose Saturday at State, they may be on the cut line because of the fact that they don't have an important or significant win. There is so much intrigue about to happen.
What do you think of DJ Lagway, Paul? I mean, it's early. He's played a few games. He's made some plays, some wow plays. But does he have the ability to get them through this? I mean, this gauntlet. This is a difficult road for any quarterback, much less a freshman.
Listen, I think he's done enough. But when I was in Gainesville twice this year, the first and third week, and I was hearing from people, you got to put Lagway in. Clearly, he wasn't the better of those two. And now it's his team, but I don't think I think that's a lot to ask for, especially Saturday against Georgia. He's not going to have an easy time with them. But I also don't think you should base the future of a head coach on a quarterback.
Right?
Is he a game changer? Maybe, but this isn't Tim Tebow 20 years ago. This is. I was about to say this isn't Trevor Lawrence at Clemson 8 or 9 years ago. I mean, you guys remember when Trevor Lawrence was a good quarterback, don't you?
He was going.
Don't go there, Paul. Don't do it.
Oh, he couldn't resist.
Right.
So,
and on that note,
yeah, let's just at least look big picture, if you don't mind, Paul. Just a couple more. Paul Finebaum, SEC Network, SEC Nation. Who was surprised you? Because Mike Elko and what A&M are doing has been very impressive. Who has surprised you the most to this point as far as your SEC perch?
Yeah, clearly he's going to win that award. I think you could also go one step below that and say, who thought Clark Lee was going to be this good at Vanderbilt? He doesn't have a lot of wins, but the fact that he lost to Missouri in overtime, he beat Virginia Tech, obviously beat Alabama and played a good game against Texas. That's a mouthful for a Vanderbilt coach.
All right, before you go, we have to ask you this, okay? Let's say your scenario doesn't play out. They don't get 2 wins, the Gators. Who do they go after? What coach? If you were Scott Strickland, what coach do you go after?
Well, I am partial to Lane Kiffin only because I deep down believe he wants this job. He grew up, as you guys know, a Spurrier aficionado. I think there's something about Lane that would connect. He hasn't handled this year very well. He may still turn it around, but it's unlikely. I think Cignetti is the hot name, but what you have to figure out is what coach works at Florida. Billy Napier was a hot name too. I'm not sure he's completely connected to Florida other than everybody beginning the sentence saying he's a nice guy, but.
I'm manning the landing ship. If Lane says no, would Dan Lanning leave Oregon after what he's quickly built up there?
I don't think so, because I watched this last year with Alabama, and I understood the reluctance. But based on what everyone seems to indicate, there's so much money from Nike tied up into Lanning that I think it would be difficult, although he would be a better coach there than anyone. His system really does fit. Yeah. But I don't think it's impossible. Listen, I don't think it's going to be that hard to get a better coach than Billy Napier.
True. Hey, listen, Paul, thanks so much, man. We really appreciate it. Have fun in Jax this weekend, all right?
Enjoy it. Thanks, Matt. See you guys.
Thank you, fella. It really is. What he says is absolutely 100% true. Let's just come back and react to that because he should have been gone. What you're accepting is less than what you should accept. And also, it shouldn't be that hard to get a better coach. It's unbelievable. It's XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Hey, football fans, looking for the ultimate game day experience? Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. We're talking big plays on the big screens, food specials that'll make your taste buds cheer, and drink deals that'll keep your spirits high. And get this, we're open till 4 a.m., serving food and drinks until 2. Make the smart play. Head to Best Bet St. Augustine and ante up for your team. Find us at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet St. Augustine, where every game day is a win.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
I've known Glenn Cohen for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen, and Sullivan.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 31st, 2004, the Pittsburgh Steelers snapped the New England Patriots' NFL record 21-game winning streak, defeating the Patriots 34-20.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see. Hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that limescale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome limescale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars made the trade of Cam Robinson official on Wednesday afternoon, announcing he was traded to the Minnesota Vikings for draft pick compensation. The deal now opens the door for Walker Little to start the final 9 games of the season at left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a great opportunity to go out there and be able to play meaningful football against some really good teams that we have coming up, and just excited and grateful for the opportunity.
Walker Little on the matchup against the defensive front of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Just watching tape on them, they're a really good front from top to bottom. They got a mix of young guys and veterans, so we're going to have our work cut out for us for sure.
Walker Little on the Eagles. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
My takeaway is amidst the Miami Hurricanes being 8-0, I got news today that 2025 Labor Day weekend, the Miami Hurricanes are playing the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Oh, I embrace the hate. For real. My hierarchy of hate for college football, Notre Dame sits atop it.
Really?
Yes.
Will you rip
More
out
than the Gators and the Knolls?
Yes.
Wow.
Will you rip out an old Catholic versus convicts T-shirt or something like that?
Never.
Never?
I never wear one.
Come on.
If I bought you one, you wouldn't wear it?
No, I set it afire. Catholics versus convicts. Disgusting.
What if it had convicts on top?
It doesn't matter.
All right, takeaway.
My takeaway is, look, we've all been saying this now for months, but the reality is that's a Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss is a tough road for any coach. Now, I'm not giving him any excuses because year 3, you should be able to win those 2 home games. They should be able to beat LSU and Ole Miss at home. They do that, he'll keep his job. They'll beat FSU, and then he'll have 7 wins and he'll keep his job. But there's no way Florida should accept 6-6, him being 17-20 after 3 years and thinking we're on the right path. There's just no way.
Yeah, that's my takeaway on top of yours, because it is unbelievable, unfathomable that they can still have that much passion, raise that many dollars, have that many people in the stands, and they're accepting that. The product is not good enough. And you can say, hey, wait a minute, they beat UCF. Look at their record, losing record. Hey, wait a minute, they beat Mississippi. Look at that record, losing record. Hey, wait a minute, look at that record, losing record. Hey, they almost beat, they didn't. That's where I'm at. And I just don't see it. You see little small pockets of improvement and the potential of DJ Lagway. And then if you operate in fear as if your quarterback's going to leave because the head coach is going to leave, you're going to be left with a myriad of problems.
Well, for not only that, I mean, you don't really know what DJ Lagway is. He's not that much different as far as what could he be potentially than Austin Simmons, who's Ole Miss's backup quarterback right now. Yeah. The kid that initially committed to Florida when he was 16 and then signed with Ole Miss, who, if you guys out there, if you haven't watched Ole Miss early in the season when they were in blowouts, watch that kid throw the ball, okay? He's going to be a dude. So and first off, like you said, Joe, in the break, what's to say DJ Lagway leaves, number one, if it's Lane Kiffin? And number two, so what if he leaves? Yeah. Austin Simmons will follow Kiffin to Florida. I think you can never, ever, ever make a decision on a coach based on one player or one recruiting class. If you do, you are literally going down a terrible road.
And just to follow that, it used to be that, like, okay, at the very least, you might have held on to that one player for 2, maybe 3 years. Not in today's portal world.
He could leave the next year.
Yeah, he could be gone tomorrow. No, you cannot do it.
I hate to say this. He could also blow his knee out tomorrow.
Yeah, don't say that.
Then what do you got? Then you've kept a guy to keep a player, and now you're going to look at 5-7 again.
Yeah, and I just know it's so funny. I appreciated what Paul Finebaum said, not only about Lane, because he said Lane is enamored with the job, was enamored with Spurrier, looked at him a lot and studied him a lot growing up. But then also Dan Lanning, look, you guys know I kind of get sky high on some of these guys, and I love what he's done, and I easily believe he could bring that blueprint back into the SEC, which is where he was, and be tremendously successful. And I get it that there's scores and scores of cash out there, but there's still more things that could go right for him in the South than out in the great Northwest. That I still firmly believe. All right, a little NFL bold fact right now, if you don't mind.
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
You can always count on them for a great time because they definitely will hook you up when it comes to great craft beer. And they've got that strong lineup, beginning with the Duke's Cold Nose Brown Ale, named after their boxer back in the day. You got Killer Whale, Mad Manatee, Bold City IPA. We can go on and on. They definitely have delicious craft. Check them out, boldcitybrewery.com. Check out the production house in Riverside on Roselle Street for great Thursday night action, and then also Bay Street downtown. So we dream of great quarterback play, and they have it going on in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, 81 career regular season games. Okay? He is right now, once again, chasing the GOAT in greatness. Tom Brady has more wins than Pat Mahomes has in his first 8 seasons, but only by a few. Okay? Only by a few. There's one other guy that's up top with Tom Brady as far as most wins in his first 8 seasons, and his name is Russell Wilson. I will take him off the table, Matt Hayes. Those two, Tommy.
Just crushed my spirit.
Yeah, exactly. I just figured I'd just take it away from you. Tommy and Russ have 86 wins in their first 8 NFL seasons. Mahomes now has 81. Okay, so he is marching towards that number. He probably will be the most successful guy. Okay. But he just passed, with this 81st win, 2 other cats as the third most wins by a starting quarterback. Who are those two?
In their first 8 seasons.
Yeah, first 8 seasons.
Who are those 2? You want 2?
Yep, 2. Looking for 2 because he is right now behind Brady and Wilson, but he just passed 2 to get.
Hey, man.
I'm going to go Big Ben and Rivers.
All right, I'm just going to stop both of you because you got one and you got one. You don't even need to go any further than that. Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I almost said El Boogie, but he hasn't been in the league 8 years, right?
No,
this is
right around
7th. Yeah.
Well, you know what? He came in the same year that Taven Bryan came in, so that's really all I got to do. Just do the math.
This might be his 8th year then.
Yeah, Lamar and Taven. Yeah, just do the math. They both came in.
They're forever connected.
Yeah, both came in 2018 and have been sensationally successful side by side ever since. So no, Lamar has not been 8 just now. All right, so it's greatness. It's what you're used to, And we brought it up because we were laughing during the break that Paul Finebaum had to get that Trevor Lawrence jab in there just a little bit. And he knows, just like we were talking about earlier, Sal Palantonio pointed out that he felt like Trevor has been a little uneven. And there's no getting away from that. He has. He cleans things up. Things start to either move in the right direction or even surge in the right direction. Just don't want to see it. You want to see that guy lead.
That was terrible. He had like 3 fumbles, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
3 fumbles, 2 picks, something crazy like that.
I believe it was a total of 5. I have to go back and look. But
yeah, it was yuck ball.
Yeah, it was a little messy.
So I'm going to go back to that question real quick that you asked. Is that in his first 8 seasons or 8 seasons as a starter?
First 8 seasons in NFL, his first 8 seasons in NFL history.
Because El Boogie didn't start every game.
Yeah, until the end of that first year.
But boy, you look him from 2019 when he first started.
Right.
14 wins, 11 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins, 13 wins, and now 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's marching towards that. But you figure Mahomes has 81, and he didn't come in until the end of his first year. Alex Smith started that whole year.
So they count that.
Yeah.
That's the count. Wow.
Yeah.
He only got like a win or 2 his last year, right?
I believe it was right there at the end. It was one game, and it was a win if I remember right.
Wow.
But it says wins by a starting quarterback in his first 8 seasons. So it doesn't say as a starter. Just his first 8 seasons. And Tommy has 86 because Tom Brady didn't start his first year. He was behind Drew Bledsoe.
So Boogie's got 61 right now in 7. Next year will be his 8th. He might break the record.
Well, he'll be, depending on how it finishes up this year, he'll be going in the right direction. But my point with Mahomes' number 81, he's still
going, right, yeah.
He still has 9 games to go.
He ain't breaking that record then.
Yeah. So
he might pass Tommy Brady, but he's not breaking Mahomes' record.
Like, if you think about one other one, I might as well just throw it out there right now because I won't make it a question, but just doing the research and pulling it up. Pat Mahomes has 96 career wins when you count the postseason. Now, Tommy, we know how uber successful he was once they got to the postseason. He didn't lose very often. Mahomes never even left his own field until last year in terms of postseason games when it wasn't a Super Bowl. Right. If it was a playoff game leading up to the Super Bowl, it was in Kansas City, in Arrowhead. He has 96 wins, including the postseason, just past Russell Wilson for the second most. And, of course, chasing Tommy. Tommy, 100 wins career in his first 8 seasons.
Including the playoffs.
Well, 100.
But Mahomes going to blow that out of the water.
You would think so, the way things are going right now. And by the way, we'll probably have this discussion a little bit tomorrow or next week. But
I know you don't like to hear this, but I got news for you. Patty Mahomes is like getting ready to pass old TB.
Well, he can. I don't care. I was trying to retire Tommy for a long time. He's done. He's toast. He's burnt. He's finished. And then he just kept coming back. And by the way, just take a look at what his last year was. That's what made him want to come back again because he was around, 4,500 yards, some crazy.
No, he had over 5,000, I think, his last year.
I don't think it went over 5, but it was a bunch.
Yeah.
Or maybe his first year had over 5,000 bucks. Well, one of those years he was over 5,000.
But we argued about it because he's starting to take too many hits. And that's when he was. And it's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers right now. Tommy was at least productive in his last year. And even though he might have not wanted to get hit, Aaron Rodgers is just a shell of himself compared to what he was.
I'm telling you what we need to stop doing. Tom Brady is a script in his own self.
You better believe it.
We think that these quarterbacks can move and maneuver to different teams, and all of a sudden that script is written. Tom Brady is breathing air other people ain't breathing.
Yeah. Well,
so he had 5,300 his first year, 4,600 his second year
in
the Bucs.
Yeah, in Tampa Town.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
just insane.
It's
ridiculous.
Third year? He didn't have 3 years at the Bucs. He only played 2.
No, yeah, he had 3. Yeah, he ran it. But they ran it back, didn't win it, and then came back one more time.
So 2020 was his first year there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did. 2020 he had 4,600 again.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
The embedded and shredded at the risk of taking on the embedded and shredded. You cannot keep a coach to keep a quarterback. You cannot do it. And that's what maybe people are entertaining the thought of in Gainesville.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that and Paul Finebaum, great interview. And yeah, I would, again, I have to see DJ Lagway have a great 5 weeks here to even start that conversation.
Okay.
But if DJ Lagway plays really well, and let's say they do go 2-3, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't risk losing him. I mean, again, I don't know any of the details of DJ Lagway and how close he's gotten to the Gainesville community, being on campus for a year. But all I know is he's from Willis, Texas.
Right.
He has no personal tie to the university until enrolling. And I would just be petrified that you fire Billy Napier and DJ Lagway says, okay, well, if he's going, I'm out too. And DJ Lagway goes and wins a Heisman or wins a championship at Miami or Texas A&M or
scary.
USC. I mean,
to me, Willis is about a 18 rounds with John Daly drivers away from College Station.
Right.
So.
To me, this is what I come back to. We've seen a number of what I would consider to be mediocre head coaches win the whole thing because they had an elite quarterback. I mean, look at Ed Orgeron has a national title because of Joe Burrow. I mean,
easy.
Go Tigers.
Easy.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, there's a reason that no one's interviewed him. I mean, and he's not the only example. He's just the most recent one. But to me, if I have an elite quarterback and an average coach, I'd rather have that than have an average quarterback with an elite coach. But again, there's still so much of the book to be read on the Florida season. So, I mean, if DJ Lagway doesn't play particularly well, then yeah, who cares? You got to start fresh. But if DJ Lagway looks like a star in the making, I'd bring Napier back just to ensure that I have Lagway. I think if DJ Lagway plays well and Florida fans know that they've got DJ Lagway, they will be excited about the 2025 season, even if Napier's on the sideline.
It'll be a good debate.
Yeah, we'll talk about it coming up on the Frangie Show, Breakdown Florida, Georgia. Greg McGarrity's going to join us from the Gator Bowl. That's always a lot of fun. And he's been on both sides of this rivalry. Mm-hmm. And although he's a dog, but he worked at Florida. And what else do we have? Rick Ballou going to join us to talk FSU.
Yeah,
so it should be fun. Fun Frangie Show coming up.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, guys. Happy Halloween.
Yes. Hayes, Franz, JJ. I consider DJ Lagway the yacht. I consider Billy the yacht anchor. That's how I'm looking at it. That's all I'm worried about. Do you want to pull that yacht down? Beautiful.
I mean, he's made some wow plays. There's no doubt about it. I'm kind of like Hayes. I want to see how it play out a little bit. I want to see how he plays. He's a freshman, so he's going to make mistakes, but it's a long way to go.
My God, he's a freshman. All right, we're out. We're going to talk Florida Georgia a bunch tomorrow. We enjoyed it today. Thanks to Corona. Begin your weekend with a lime Corona Premier, Corona Light, Corona Extra. We always enjoy it. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Search, and RJ.
You lollygag the ball around the end of it. You lollygag your way down to first. You lollygag in and out of the dugout. You know what that makes you, Larry?
Lollygagger.
Lollygagger.